Hello, everyone. It is Sunday night, about 11:15 p.m., and I just wanted to bring in some breaking news. If you've been online earlier this evening, you may have seen this or heard about it, but um, Satan is busy. He's real busy. Busy all over the world, but really bearing down on this nation big time. Earlier this evening, this was in Wisconsin. Uh, Several lives were lost, including children. An SUV drove through a Christmas parade. There is a person of interest in custody, um, but this was in, I'm going to pronounce the city probably wrong, but Waukesha, Wisconsin. The police chief there confirmed in a press conference earlier this evening a red SUV drove through a Christmas parade barricades and struck at least 20 individuals, including children. An officer who has been on the force for just over 6 years did open fire on the vehicle. A person of interest is in custody. The situation or the investigation is very active, they said. Some of the victims were children. Of course, they're not revealing identities right now. Of course, families trying to get notified. There were parents out there. I watched a couple of videos. I was on Fox News, the website, watching, reading the story, and they did have a couple of videos linked to it, and it's tough to watch. It's obvious that this vehicle purposely was targeting them. Drove up behind the parade participants, and it really mowed through them, and it kept going. It was it was running fast, and it was not an accident. You could tell if you watched the video. Mowed through them and sped up for maximum. It was targeting, and then tried to speed up and get out of there, and then it went out of view of the camera. But tough to watch. But they said that they transported 11 adults and 12 children to six area hospitals. Other than that, it's hard to get details right now. I'm going to follow the story, but um, there was a witness that they talked to that said that he was coming out of a pub, apparently, right when this was happening. And just some of the stuff he said. He said he grabbed his friend and they were both in shock. They made their way through the carnage. Good Samaritans were attempting CPR on multiple victims before the paramedics arrived. Said it was a horrific scene. We were walking and then we just turned off the main street there to walk up a few more blocks to the car where the cops were peeling around the corner, assuming they were looking for the guy. There were people. It was just a chaotic scene, as you can imagine. As a father, I can't imagine. Uh, when looking at the video, it did look like parade participants were youngsters. Looked like, it's hard to tell, but it looked like either middle school or high school age, and there were adults in it too, as well. So yes, both adults and children. So yes, Satan is very busy. This was located very close to Kenosha, Wisconsin. So yeah, um, and we have to be really aware. And I've been talking about this too, as far as crowds. And I know you have to live your life. You have to go to the things and not be afraid. Try not to be afraid and anxious. But I know Mrs. Dog and I were talking about this earlier, and we're just avoiding crowds as much as possible. We've been doing that though. Um, Even shopping and such as that, we order what we can online. We go to grocery stores, of course. Um, Other than that, maybe Tractor Supply, a couple of places, but we're avoiding the large, densely populated type of things or events. I'm nervous. I worry about these big sporting events. You know, these football games hold what, 80 to 100,000 people in a stadium. And then when they're all coming out, it's like a sea of people walking out in the streets and parking lots, you know. So just be hyper aware. Have your head on a swivel and just be looking out. Get defensive tools and you're trained, licensed. Carry it. Be ready. Be prepared. All right. I think we're going to need it. I know we need it. Keep praying. God help these people. Let's keep them in prayer about this incident here. Also, real quick, not related to this incident, but I saw this story this morning. But this happened Saturday, apparently. And you might have seen this, but California Nordstrom store near San Francisco was hit by 80, estimated 80 youngsters who ran into the store and just ransacked, stole a bunch of stuff. They had masks and crowbars and weapons, according to witnesses. But they said probably 50 to 80 people and ski masks, crowbars, a bunch of weapons. They were looting the Nordstroms right here. I thought they were going to start beating the cars. I had to start locking the doors. This was somebody close by in a store, I guess, that witnessed it. It was a mob of people. The police were flying in. It was like a scene out of a movie. It was insane. That was from a witness. I can imagine. You know, I think this is going to increase. I mean, if there's no consequences to these things, you know, this is going to heat up. This is just going to increase and keep going. I mean, if they know they can just walk into a store and grab stuff and suffer no consequences, no risk, hardly, or low risk, the reward is too high for them. They'll just keep doing it. I mean, until you start seeing consequences of the strongest nature, so to speak, it's going to keep on. It's just going to keep going and get worse. And I fear, you know, it's going to transfer to other stuff. What about these? Man, I think about these Brinks trucks. I mean, I don't know how they get people to drive those things. I mean, I know they're armed, but gee whiz. I worry about the food Walmart trucks. They're going to become targeted now. You know, when food becomes an issue, you know, I hope not. But truckers need to be careful. I worry about them. So again, we need to be very just hyper aware out there. No matter where you are, no matter what town you're in. This was a seems like a, you know, not a huge town. I mean, it's not very far from Kenosha, and all of that area is not very far from Milwaukee. So it looked like a suburb of that, maybe a suburb of Milwaukee, or not too far from it. But no matter where you are, no matter what event you're doing, a sporting event, little league games, gosh, you know, it's sad that we have to think this way and be careful this way, but we really do. We really do, no matter what. And we're in the holidays now, and you got these events, a lot are outdoors. So head on a swivel. Be prepared. Be prepared to defend yourself and your family. We'll keep following this. Keep praying. God bless you. I'll see you soon.